going on for about 5 years. Well, I'd say as a brand designer, I've had at least 3 years of like practical experiences in brand identity design. I also and I'm an illustrator and a 2D, 2D, definitely 2D animation and motion designer. Again, I do a lot of things, but I like to identify as a brand designer. Yeah, there are a lot of interesting things about me, I guess. I have interest outside of design, and that includes recently working out. I love good food. I'm a very big fan of good food. I am also interested in art, fine art, yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, I just love being creative and being a creative. So yeah, that's me in a few words. Thank you.
I'm like, I feel intimidated already just hearing you read out what you do, right? So if you're on the call, you can just check her Instagram. She linked her portfolio website there, and you can see so I personally connected with her I connected with you like last year. I think it was during the time the Hive was doing the um challenge for November, show your work challenge, and I saw some of the things you were putting out, and I was like, this is actually really interesting. Thank you for the emoji reaction, Emeka. And I just fell in love with the content you were sharing and the stuff you were doing, and I was like, I think I need to speak with you. And I think after a little bit of back and forth, reposting your work, it became like familiarity. And this year I was like, you know what? How about we start this year with a woman in design and no other person than yourself? So I was saying that I was starting out in design for you. How was it? What was the process like as a woman
Mm,
in design?
okay. Sincerely, I would say that when I started out in design, it was more of like a personal thing for me. It was not. It was the idea behind it was not really a female being a female in design or being a particular gender in the design industry. I started out during the whole COVID lockdown era, and sincerely, it was just me exploring designs with Canva and Pixel Lab. So there's
Mm,
really
reminds me of
there
the
was
story.
nothing interesting that much when I started, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, that was how I started out in design. There's no big backstory behind it.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So how did you figure out that you wanted to do design though? Like there are so many things you would have done. How do you pick design? What led to that thought process that said, oh, I think I want to do design?
Okay. So something there's something interesting right now. I'm currently studying human physiology, which is like a basic medical course. And the answer to this question usually every time baffles me because I started exploring design with just like the concept of I just want to do something, right? I don't want to be idle. I didn't want to just sit around and, just lay around while everyone else seems to be doing something. So I just kind of found interest in design. It's sort of helps me express myself a lot. For someone that tends to have several ideas going on in their head, and it's kind of hard to help people visualize what kind of thoughts I'm having in my head, the things I'm trying to put together in my head. It felt like design allowed me to do that. It felt like with design, I could tell people that, okay, this is what I'm thinking about. This is what I want to do. Right. So I think that just kind of sealed the interest I had in design. And over time, I got to meet a lot of other people with similar interests. I got to explore beyond just, Canva and Pixel Lab. And I realized that, okay, I think this really is it. I think design is it for me, right? So yeah.
That's really beautiful. I am some, some lessons from there. So I want to ask you again, how did you find your voice or your confidence in design? So when you're entering design, there are many other people who are doing what you're doing. There are people that you aspire to be like, and the skill gap between you and them is just really high. And you're thinking to yourself, this person at this level, how do I get there? How did you build confidence in your design skills when you started young?
Okay. Okay. So first of all, I want to say that I would be talking from the perspective of someone that's still figuring things out, from someone that's still learning. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to like find my way, even though I seem to have found a path, right? I'm still trying to navigate what it means to create, to design, as especially as a woman, right? Oh, a woman, nice. So when um how did I attain this level of confidence with
Exactly.
um being a designer, with sharing my works, with showing up for myself? I would say that I'd say that because I started out as someone that did not really interact with a lot of people. Starting out was not hard, but I got to a stage where I had to really show my work, tell people that okay, this is what I do. I'm a designer, and not seem like I don't know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's that phase where I'm still learning. I'm still trying to like observe, and I was comparing myself a lot to people who were also in the industry. So it feels like design already has like a kind or the type of person that are very well known for it, or that they're very well celebrated in the industry. Basically, you'd see a lot of like really cool works, you see a lot of like really awesome designs. But then when you go to like the back end of the design, the people that you see there are males, and it's kind of astonishing a lot to see that it's heavily men in this industry. So when I see works, or when I see people that are female in design, or works that were created by female in design, even
Yeah.
though it's kind of inspiring, there are some times when it feels like some of these women in design are celebrated more for how they look than for the kind of work they do. So my confidence in my confidence right now was built gradually. It was not like a one-time thing. I observed a lot. And for someone that's still kind of skeptical about this whole, sharing your face on social media, it was hard to create a voice for myself, to create a space for myself in the industry. So the
Yeah.
confidence came from consistently, regardless of how weird my works looked,
But did you
or
did you get like
how,
feedback?
yeah.
Did people tell you, oh, your work is not good? Did you get anything like that
Yeah,
while you were
definitely.
very young?
There were definitely times where, even now, there were times where people would tell me that, oh yeah, are you a guy? Like, not is your design bad? They just go, are you a guy? Like, are you really a
Yeah.
female doing this? Are you really a
Hmm.
female doing this?
So it's like
So
they're surprised that you're female doing good work.
yes, exactly. So it
Oh
feels
wow.
like I need to reach a certain I need to like
Yeah.
convince people that, oh, I'm actually a female. Like I really am doing this as a female. So it was hard
Mm.
building that confidence. But I think what really helped me more was the community around me. I am currently a part of a few communities that are really, really helpful. So when I share my works, the first few comments, the first few feedbacks that I would get would be from that community, and I think that that kind of helped me build the confidence that I have now. Also,
That, that's
because I
beautiful.
because I kept showing my work, it got to a point where I didn't really care about what I was sharing. Like I just knew that this work it's nice to an extent. It's nice. I don't need to keep doubting myself. It got to that extent where I just knew that, and I think it was then that I knew that okay, I've attained a certain level of confidence. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you just spoke about something, right? Your story is almost similar to mine in that I also needed community to also, people cheering you on, people saying, good work. But the funny thing happened with me where somebody gave me a really cutthroat feedback and I stopped designing for an entire month. I was
Ah.
reevaluating my life if I actually wanted to continue in this career, right? As a graphic designer or brand designer, and the likes. So I want to ask you, right, what role, I know you sort of like grazed it, but what role did community play for you? What role did mentorship and peer support play in building that space in design?
Okay. So I I value people a lot. I value communities a lot, and I value mentorship a lot. These three things have played a very huge role in who I am currently as an individual and who I am as a designer. What role did community play? A very huge role, a very, very huge role. I was initially in a community of designers. I think it's design and hero or something. There were, although it seemed like the majority of people in that community as well were male, like male designers. But when I started to see that there were also female designers, the founder of the community is a female, it kind of boosted the morale the little morale that I already had. And in that aspect, I would say community respect. I uphold community a lot. In fact, I preach to people that yes, definitely join communities. If there are good communities with good feedbacks from people, join them. What role did mentorship play? I feel like for a lot of people, for a lot of people that are self-taught like myself,
Yeah.
mentorship is key because
Mm.
without mentorship, we'd be doing a lot of things wrong for a very, very long period of time before we'd realize that, oh, this is actually how you're meant to do it. Mentorship kind of saves you that time. Mentorship allows you to do things without having to sometimes do things without having to worry about what the results would be because your mentors have somehow gone through that cycle, right? So I said I'm a motion designer, right? I started learning
Yeah.
motion design last year, 2025. That's fun. No, no,
You're already doing good. I think I saw
2024.
one post you made recently. You had a 8 week, spazas, motion spazas. Nice.
So my motion design journey was heavily on mentorship. Like I did not buy any courses, I did not pay for anything. All I had was YouTube and mentors. That was it. And I felt like I probably my growth is probably a lot or was a lot easier, and the trajectory was straightforward, much more than people that would most likely have, bought courses or paid for courses and stuff like that. So mentorship saves you a lot. It saves you time. It saves you from, failing over and over and over again. It allows you to do things without consistently like doubting and questioning yourself because you have someone to tell you that, okay, what you've done is really, really cool. You just need to, adjust a few things. You don't need to completely destroy what you've built so far. So, yeah, mentorship, community, people, I value these three things a lot.
That's beautiful. What about? So I want to talk about something which is very obvious, right? From the conversation we're talking about, you being a woman in design. What did that pose to be like did it pose any challenge for you, knowing that a lot of people you're looking up to are maybe males? I know you talked about mentorship. I know you also talked about some female leaders in design.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know one of the communities you're talking about that has a female, it's a female-led community.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think people like that will sort of like make sure that as much as this is a largely male-populated career, women in design are still doing really good work. In fact, I feel like the design industry would not be where it is now without some, women in design. So yeah, speak to us about that. Like, what was that for you, like being a woman in design starting out?
Okay, so being a woman in design for me is very, very interesting. I've met a lot of women that will tell me that, oh, they got declined or something because they were a woman, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
Here, I'm just going to say the truth. Since okay, being a woman might come with its challenges, right?
yeah,
But being a woman in design and knowing what you're doing, like being really, really good, kind of
yeah.
helps you cross some of these hurdles without having
Mm,
to face what some other so-called women in design would face. So, as a woman in design, I started out, I was a complete beginner, but I did not stop midway. I did not stop growing. I did not stop putting in the work just because I felt like, oh yeah, because women in design seem to not have so much credibility. I have to like stop at a certain point. I did not do that. I continued growing. I'm still growing. I'm still finding a way to, keep growing more and more and more. I think
mm,
that has helped me overcome some hurdles that a lot of women in design would most likely have faced. I work in a team of designers where the majority of the people on the team right now are male, heavily male. We have two females, and so far, I would not say that I've faced any kind of hurdle so far with being a woman in the team itself. It is being a woman design is it comes with its problem normally. But when you are good, you'd be known for being good, not just, oh yeah, this person
yeah,
is just a woman that knows how to design. It would be this person knows how to design and they're really, really good at what they do. Nobody's going to
yeah.
come here and say, oh yeah, because you're a woman, we're not going to use your design. This is
Mm,
2022. Like, so yeah, I I always tell the women around me that comes to me with, oh yeah, so person said so. I always tell them that, okay, yes, these things would happen, but trust me,
yeah,
when you are really good, when you are really, really good, you'd be respected even for being a woman doing this good. So
mm,
maybe try to put in the work more. Try to put yourself out there more, as in show your work more,
mm.
right?
So
Stop. Um. Okay. Go on.
yeah, so you talked about putting yourself out there, right? And I just want to ask the next question, which is how do you navigate visibility and growth? So when you're starting out,
Mm-hmm.
there's that voice that is telling you that you're not good enough, don't show up, don't put your work out there. And it's interesting that during the time we were doing the November Show Your Work Challenge on the Hive, that was when I met you. And although you were not, entirely part of that challenge, I noticed that you were showing your work regardless, right? And that's what even led to this conversation that led to the session we're having now. So how did you navigate growth, showing up and growth across, and then visibility too, because when you start out too, a lot of people don't know you, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then with time you start to get visible, people start to notice you, people start to even reach out to you, and just like how I reached out to you is because you are showing your work and you are visible, right? So how do you, or whoever is listening to you, maybe mid-level or beginner in their career, how do they navigate visibility and growth?
Okay. So I am going to say one thing. The way everyone's minds work is very, very different. I grew up with the mentality that I it's not being nonchalant really, it's just not caring too much about what some people think about what you do. So for people that are just starting out in design and feel like they are not good enough to, or their works are not good enough to be out there, the secret is that there's someone out there that's admiring what you're doing from far away. Even if you feel like it's not that good, even if you feel like it's not up to the standard of some people that you compare yourself with, there are people out there that see your work as exceptional. And it's two things, yeah. That should not mean that you should now stop growing, or you should now see yourself as you've gotten to where you need to be. And
Mm,
it also does not mean that you shouldn't put your work out there. Try not
yeah.
to think much. Try not to think much of what people would say about your design. Just
Mm,
when you want to post a design, if you feel like you get very nervous or something, press that post button, close your Instagram app, close your Behance, close your whatever it is, go to bed or something. Just, chill out, drink water, take juice or something.
grass.
With time, it becomes normal. It becomes less of a work for you to put your work out there, because you know that just I mean it's really, it becomes normal for you when you do something over time. So when you want to post your
Mhm.
work and it's in your drafts and you're just staring at it and you're saying that, oh yeah, this thing is not good, it's not good enough, I need to change something on Figma, I need to do this, I need to do that, you'd keep doing that
Mm,
over and over again without eventually putting
yeah.
that work out there. So what use is
Mm,
work that's sitting in your drafts for months without even people seeing it? So if you are the kind of person that gets very, very nervous before putting their works out there, you build the
yeah.
confidence small by small, step by step, like that. Just press that send button, press that post button, and close whatever app it is that you're using, close whatever software it is that you're using. Come back and check
Mm,
what's going on. If people like it, fine, cool. If you see feedback on what you're doing, fine, cool. If you are not seeing any comments too, absolutely fine. Over time, when you do that consistently, you start seeing people that would share you right in front of you. People that will tell you that, oh yeah, you are that guy on so software, so app that does
yeah.
so thing. So really, just try to not think much of what the results might be. Just do it. Just share
Mm.
that design. Just post that work.
And
Yeah.
all right, that's a beautiful one. Please, if you have any questions, you can just there's a question icon at the bottom of your screen. You can use it, or you can just type it. How do you design with intention? Like, how do you know what to design? How do you know which? So design is like a very vast ocean, right? And you can go anywhere. You can decide to do anything in the design career space.
Mhm.
How did you pick where you're current? Because I understand that you're currently in branding and illustration.
Mhm.
So how did you navigate? Figuring out, oh, okay, I think I want to do branding and illustration. I know
Mhm.
it's still a morphing career because you mentioned that you're also into like motion design and all. How did you choose which part of design to focus on?
Okay, so I want to tell a very, very interesting story before I answer this question. More of like how my design trajectory looked like. So when I said I started out in design, that was in 2020 through 2021. I was designing with Pixel Lab. I was creating posters, flyers. They're not that good. Then I signed up for some academy. And apparently, what they were teaching us then was what they called desktop publishing. So the interesting part was that I was taught design, like they were teaching us design, but we're designing with Microsoft Word. We're creating
Wow.
flags, we're creating logos, we're creating posters with Microsoft Word. And
Wow.
I think that kind of that kind of helped me build it helped me build resilience, because yeah, it was tough. Then from there I used like 6 months, six whole months.
I can't imagine.
they eventually taught they eventually taught us how to use CorelDRAW and then
Yeah.
Photoshop at some point. Yeah, it
Corridor.
was fun, really. It
Really
was
get
fun.
that.
And hectic. Then in 2023, I met a few designers online, was like social media connection kind of thing. And I got to know that, oh, some of these people are product designers, some of these people are, what do you call
Yeah.
them? UI UX designers, brand designers. Some people specifically say, I am a logo designer. I'm like, okay, cool, fine. There are some people that would say they are so
Mm.
designers. So it got confusing. I was like, okay, I know about design like to an extent, but all of these things I most definitely can't do all of them. Right. I need to find something that really, really interests me. And with my experience in that academy, it felt like brand design was it, because I saw
Mm.
some brand design projects on Behance. I met some brand designers. I saw some of their works, and I knew that okay, I felt like I could do these things. I started trying to recreate some of their works. I started trying to like replicate some works, and I started feeling like I was understanding brand design more. That was what it felt like. Like I knew how to break things down in a way that it becomes easier for me to eventually like design some of these things. It becomes easier for me to create logo for brands and build an entire system around that logo itself. So how did I niche down? That's how it happened. It's very, it's not like I met someone that now said, oh yeah, there's money in brand design, go and do brand design. No. It was more of like me exploring things and eventually finding out that I enjoy designing brand identities more. And I came to realize as well that brand identity design allows me to explore a lot of other niches in design. So I'm a identity designer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a logo designer. I most
Mm.
likely would be an illustrator. I most likely would know how to create motion designs. I would
Yeah. Nah,
very vast when it comes to color palette creation. You know, it comes with
yeah.
all of this extra niche knowledge, and it
Yeah.
just felt like the right thing to do. It's not like I don't know, or I don't know how to design in other niches, but brand design sort of helps me bring all of those knowledges together to just
Mm.
build a whole system. So yeah, that's how I found love in brand design.
That's beautiful. What would you say? What would you say last year taught you about your career, about your person,
Mm,
or space in design? Like, if you just look back at 2025, you just say, ah, these were the things that I took from it that is influencing me. And then when you answer that, I think the next question is, what lessons are you carrying into? So, what did 2025 teach you? One, and the second part, what are you looking at doing in 2026?
okay. One thing that I would say that 2025 definitely taught me is that I need not to limit myself. So
Beautiful.
there were some projects that I worked on. Usually when I take on brand design projects, it takes a few months to complete. Like the whole project takes a few months to complete. And I came across, I'm pretty sure you might have seen the post, this Mr. Beats design challenge thingy.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So when I started that design, it was at least, I think, 2 days to the submission date. was when I
Oh
started.
wow.
And I had other commitments outside of that. I definitely had other commitments. I had work, I had school, I had other things that I was basically doing. And somehow, I was able to start the whole thing from scratch. And I was able to complete everything. And I was able to submit that particular challenge thing. So in 2025, I got to know that I limit myself and I need not to
Mm.
do that anymore. I need to push myself
Absolutely.
beyond the limits that I currently see myself in. So yeah. And if I had anything that I brought into 2026, it would definitely be that you should be bold, be loud, be bold, be very expressive with what you like, what you don't like, what you know, what you do not know, and what you need. Be very, very expressive, be bold with all of these things. Basically, like speak up. Yes. Tell people that, okay, this is what I do. Let people know that this is what you know. These are what you do not know. That's definitely
Mm.
what I would say I'm bringing into 2026. What's a word for
Absolutely.
that? Audacity. Yes,
The
yes,
audacity.
yes, yes.
I'm taking that from you too. The audacity. Yeah, that's a beautiful one. Let me ask you something a little bit laid back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. If you were to either stick with Illustrator or stick with Photoshop, what tool would you stick with? Like if they said you wouldn't use any other tool, just one, what tool would that be?
Whew. So this I Illustrator. I don't need to think much about it. Illustrator. Illustrator because I learned Illustrator from scratch by myself and I seem to know how to use it very much. For some things that you'd most likely say, you do really do this with Illustrator. So yeah, definitely. Adobe
Okay,
Illustrator.
let me ask you another question. If you had to pick between either of these, trackpad or mouse, you pick trackpad or mouse.
Okay, so I illustrate.
You
I
use it
yeah.
only. Yeah,
Now this is one hard one. Mm, okay, yeah. I'm going to go with mouse.
you go
Yeah,
with mouse. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right. That's beautiful. I think I have one more. Um, so if you had to pick one social media platform, just one that you had to show up on, which social media platform would that be?
Definitely
Just
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It seems
Let me
very
actually,
it
I'm
seems
like,
very easy for me to show up
if
here
you had
and
to pick
everywhere
one
else.
country to meet all your clients from, just one country, what country would that be?
Hmm. Okay. So
I mean, you're going to pick Nigeria now. Come on, don't do this
oh,
to
yeah.
us. Nigeria.
If I were to pick a country, hmm,
Yes.
oh, so there are different,
Ah,
there are
it's hard.
different.
You're explaining
Um,
your answer.
hey, okay, so if I'm going to be considering, finances,
Mm.
hmm, I would
I
say
mean, that's all we consider now. You pick where?
Qatar. Yes,
Oh, oh,
yes.
that's a really good pick. Oh. You went to the top. All right, that's a beautiful one. So if you had to name like top three creators you feel influence your career, like top, and you could limit them to female creators or female
Mm-hmm.
design
Mm-hmm.
three that your career. Who would they be?
Okay. Three people. I hope
Yeah, please.
nobody's here and to get another that I don't mention their names. So, so first person would definitely be Bolutifia Awako. Do you know her?
Yeah, I knew that was who you
Yes.
were going to call.
She's okay. So I'm mentioning her
Yeah.
name because because she's the first person that I had a sort of like a physical session on brand identity design with. It was a 1 day webinar. It was from morning till night.
Oh
So
wow.
she basically like took us through all of her like systems, the way her process, everything. She was
Mm.
so oh my god, I love her. I so love her. So yeah, once you say our call. Then okay, now it's hard. Mm.
Yeah. I mean that was like the easiest pick. I knew we were going to mention her name. Who's the second one?
Okay, so the second person you most likely you may know or may not know. His name is Abdurrashid Zakaria. Yes,
I don't think I know him.
Ibn
But I
Zakaria. That's what they call him. He's also he's also a brand designer. He was the
mm,
first person that taught me brand design virtually.
where does he work? Let me
Virtually.
know if maybe I know him.
Mm, I think you may have come across his works before. Like I can't tag someone here, so yeah, I wish I
Oh,
could. I would definitely share his social media page with you. Then, then, uh, then the next or the last person. God. Okay, this is a very tight spot. Okay, the last person would be. God. Uh, okay, okay. Can I not mention any last person? Can I just skip it at this two?
okay. All right, that's fine. I mean, you can mention yourself too. I believe you also inspire yourself, just
Okay,
in case you're running out of people to mention.
okay.
Thank you so much for your time. I don't know if anybody has questions. Okay, I think I'm seeing something. Okay, so someone is saying, I look through your portfolio and I see some really cool projects you did. Which one is your favorite and why? That's a beautiful question. That's a
Mm,
beautiful question.
mm.
This
Okay,
person has gone
so
through your portfolio. I mean, if you've not gone through her portfolio, please go and check it out. You fall in love with the
so
portfolio side.
my
Really?
favorite project so far is the Handy. That's brand identity design and product package design for a non-carbonated soft drink brand, Handy. So the reason for that is because this particular project initially was meant to be a typeface design exploration. Then midway, I got to I finished the whole like the first draft and I was like, okay, this looked like something I can publish, but I'm not really feeling it. And during that time, I was learning this American Sign Language,
Wow.
and it
So you
just
can sign.
felt I'm learning, as I said.
Because I also know American Sign Language, at least A to Z.
Okay, that's nice. Oh, it's Z. Okay. I know a few words, a few sentences. So
Oh,
yeah,
fine.
I was saying, right? I was learning the American Sign Language, and it just felt like the right time to do that because one, it was fun for me to create sort of like illustrations in the same style as that typeface design. Then
Yeah.
two, it was a way for me to explore some signs that are from the American Sign Language, but some of these signs are also used in like day-to-day conversations, or they are used to
Hmm.
like depict some things, right? Like when you cross your two fingers, it's the R sign, but then in normal scenarios, like fingers crossed, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
uncertainty. So that was the whole idea behind that, and the bad and good signs. So like the bad was like red and the thumbs down, right? So
Yeah.
again, it was majorly because it was fun working on that particular project, and
No.
it was a way
Nice.
for me to express some of the things that I was going through at that particular time. So yeah.
Beautiful. Let me ask you one final question. This is just the
Like final.
yeah, final, really.
Okay.
Um, so it's 2026 now, right?
Mhm.
And it's a new year. It's almost like there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of anxiety, everybody saying new year, new me, new
Yeah.
dispensation,
Okay.
everybody's doing 2025 rap, all the things they did, all the projects, and there's actually some level of anxiety, right?
Hmm.
Out there. There's a lot of pressure for people to perform, you
Yeah.
know. Someone making is saying you're making me want to go back to learning ASL.
Please do. There are a lot
Oh,
of
that's a
people
good
that need.
one.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, honestly. So I think my final question for you will be how do you keep the noise outside? Because there's so much noise. You get
Mm.
like literally when you come on the internet, two swipes. I mean, maybe the first thing you see on the internet, somebody is sharing, maybe their new win, somebody is buying a car, somebody is getting married. There's so much happening, and you're in your own corner wondering to yourself, am I doing enough? Am I in the right career? I mean, you know, so how do you keep yourself sane? And Instagram is one platform where people do that a lot. Especially your gender, no offense. Just come online and everybody's peppering you. So how do you, as someone who's still building their career, still has a lot to cover, still has lessons they're learning, how do you keep that noise outside and just do what you have to do?
Okay, so I was saying something earlier when you asked me about how I attained this level of confidence in my work,
Yeah.
and I said something about not caring too much, right? So
Mm.
I understand that it's the Gregorian New Year because it is.
Mm. I like the way you put it. It
Because
actually is.
yes, it is
If you're
just
using a calendar, this is not a new year.
yes. So it's just the Gregorian New Year, and it is true that there are a lot of people out there that feel pressured to suddenly grow or to suddenly
Yeah.
change or to suddenly, become better. But the reality is that a lot of these things don't happen at the snap of a finger. It takes time. You have to build things gradually. If you pass a short route or a shortcut, you definitely find a loophole in that shortcut of yours, and everything could come crashing down, like it usually does. When you
Mm.
say, "Okay, new year, new me, I'm doing this, I'm going to gym, I'm doing this," right? So, what would I tell people that feel like this? Yes, I want you to start seeing January 1st as just another day. Start seeing it as just another day to keep trying, to keep growing, to keep designing, because I'm talking about design, to keep
Yeah.
to continue what you've been doing so far. You don't need to particularly change anything. You don't need to say, oh yeah, because it's 2026, I need to erase all of what I've been doing so far and try to like start something new. Just keep going, keep at it, keep doing what you've been doing, right? Since January 1st as just another day, excluding all of the celebrations that go on, keep
Yeah.
doing what you've just been doing so far. If you are the kind of person that feels pressured when you open any app or when you open any software, once you start feeling like the pressure is on, go off. Go off. Yes, just go off. It's I don't know. For me, it's more of like the I don't care attitude because I do not really care. A lot of people were sending me Happy New Year, can all these stats, and I was like, oh yeah, welcome to the second half of a Gregorian decade, because
Mm.
it is that it's just Monday. It's a new day. It's a Saturday. It's a Tuesday. See it as that. If you're the kind of person that used to design for 8 hours straight in 2025, keep doing that in 2026. You don't need to suddenly say, okay, because this is 2026, I want to start designing for 24 hours straight or for 12 hours straight. Be lenient
Yeah.
with yourself. It's just another day. Really, it's just another day. So you don't need to create any sort of like new resolution. Whatever you've had before,
For no New
just keep at
Year's.
it.
You don't have
Just
like one
continue.
thing
Just
to
continue from where you stopped, right? Just continue from wherever you might have stopped and keep at it. If you feel pressured, leave
do.
the place that or the places or the people that pressure you. You come back January 15th and everybody will just seem normal back. So yeah.
Mm. Thank you so much for speaking from your heart. I think the final thing I would just say is if people listening want to connect with you outside like Instagram, are you on
Mhm.
Twitter or X rather?
So, I'm everywhere. I'm on X, I'm on
What's
LinkedIn,
your handle on
um,
X?
I'm on Instagram. I'm everywhere.
What's your handle on X and what's your name on LinkedIn? People
So
want to
on
connect.
X, my handle is Hijabi underscore designer. On LinkedIn, it's just my name, Roqeebat Abdulwahab. And on Instagram, it's
Okay.
hijabi dot designer. Where else? Behance is just Roqeebat Abdulwahab. Yeah, and you
Yeah, you
can
can
visit
just
my website. It has all of
yeah,
the things.
you can just check out right really everything is
Thank
there.
you.
Thank you so much for your time and for granting us your story. I always believe in power of story. I believe everyone should share their story and the power of voice. And hearing you speak, I can tell that you're someone who has a very strong identity of self, who knows where they are, what they want to do with their career. And that's something you don't learn, by chance. It's something that you continue to build as you go. This Yeah, someone is saying thanks in the comments. Ime is into AI content creation, so you may also want to check her out. She does really good stuff. Um, what I'm saying is this page is courtesy of the Hive. The Hive is a community of creators or creative people who want to, use the power of peer-to-peer learning. So I learn from you, you learn from me, if we're all learning from everybody, iron sharpens iron on steroids. The steroids part is leveraging technology to help each other learn and grow. We're doing something this year called Show Your Work Challenge. I think we want to show up for like 100 sprint of 100 days. So if that's something you feel like you're interested in, you can chat me up. If you have any other questions for her, too, you can always reach out to her. Thank you, everyone. Don't worry, next time we're going to on our camera. We're a little bit camera shy because we're still trying to catch up in 2026, Office has not opened for some people, so everybody's still sort of like cruising around, right? So I'll see you guys on community for those of you that are on the Hive community. If you're not, you can send me a DM and I will add you there. Any final words from you before we go? Maybe just one last line to sign up.
So, with respect to the theme of this discussion, which is like finding your space in design, I'd like to say that finding one space in design truly is about allowing yourself to stay in design. It's allowing yourself to learn, helping yourself to grow and to become that designer that you aim to become. And doing all of this consistently, even when it feels like there are no progresses, even when it's hard for you to show up for yourself. And at the same time, I think we should all learn to be lenient with ourselves along the way. So yeah, and you don't need to have everything figured out. Yeah, it takes time, really. It takes time. It's gradual, but with time, you eventually arrive at that place where you're going to. So yeah, thank you very much for
Mm,
having me.
Thank you so much for having us. Till next time, guys. Our first speaker on the Hive for 2026. See you guys some other time.